Chairman Hanna and members of the subcommittee, thank you for this opportunity. ATA is the largest trade association for the trucking industry. Through its affiliated associations, the ATA Federation represents more than 30,000 members covering every type of carrier. I am Duane Long, chairman of Longistics, a trucking and logistics company in North Carolina that my wife and I started in 1984. We operate an average of 45 trucks and employ an average of 105 drivers who provide service for pharmaceutical customers throughout the United States. We take pride in our outstanding safety performance. Mr. Chairman and Representative Rice, thank you for introducing H.R. 3413. ATA fully supports the bill. Simply put, the hours of service changes were unnecessary. FMCSA's action, while perhaps well-intentioned, was not based on evidence or analyses demonstrating a problem with the prior set of rules. These new rules are having real-world impacts on thousands of small trucking companies and the million-plus drivers that work for them. Keep in mind, 97% of trucking companies are small businesses with 20 trucks or less. This past Monday, the 18th, the American Transportation Research Institute, called ATRI, issued a new report on the impacts of these rules based on two separate surveys conducted in September and October. The first collected data from more than 2,300 professional truck drivers, and the second survey yielded responses from more than 400 truck fleets, 70% of which were small fleets. ATRI also analyzed electronic logbook data from more than 40,000 drivers over a 93-day period after July 1. ATRI's findings are groundbreaking and remarkably timely for this hearing. ATRI found that 67.4% of surveyed drivers reported a drop in their income since July the 1st. The aggregate annual loss is between $1.6 billion and $3.9 billion spread across a million-plus over-the-road truck drivers. 82.5% of drivers indicated a somewhat negative or very negative impact on their quality of life. Ironically, 66% perceived increases in fatigue since these rules went into effect. More than 80% of fleets surveyed indicated a loss of productivity, and counter to FMCSA's claims, electronic logbook data does not support the agency's claims of drivers consistently working excessive hours. I can confirm these findings. My drivers work reasonable hours, yet they have lost productivity. Bottom line, these rules are having a widespread negative impact on productivity for drivers and fleets. A few specifics about my company. We employ team drivers, typically husbands and wives, who take turns driving the truck and one resting in the truck sleeper berth. Their weekly routine often keeps them on the road until around 2 a.m. early Saturday morning. Under the previous restart rule, they could depart on their next trip Sunday evening after being off more than a day and a half in order to make a Monday morning delivery required by our customers. Now, when taking the restart, they cannot depart until after 5 a.m. on Monday and are unable to meet the customer's expectations and the demands of just-in-time delivery. Other small fleets have shared similar concerns with ATA. Because restarts must now include this 1 to 5 a.m. period, many trucks are entering the traffic flow at about the same time, just as rush hour begins. A regional food transporter based in Minnesota that ATA has heard from experienced a loss in productivity per truck of between 4% and 6%. Their drivers are frustrated, and so are the customers, as late deliveries have doubled over the past 3 months. ATA has heard similar problems and concerns from many companies, both small and large. More importantly, ATRI has documented the widespread nature of these problems and their huge cost. More troubling is these new rules are not likely to result in any kind of meaningful benefit. Not surprisingly, FMCSA has announced no plans to collect data in effort to determine if the benefits are possible. We did not hear any plans to that effect today. We encourage Congress to pass H.R. 3413 to stay the restart provision until GAO completes an assessment of FMCSA's cost-benefit work and its restart field study. This is not just a trucking issue. The rule changes are having negative impacts throughout the supply chain, and explains why the National Association of Manufacturers, National Federation of Small Businesses, and more than 50 other organizations are supporting H.R. 3413. Again, thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to any questions.
Thank you.